Do you remember the episode of Digimon where Tai thought the digital world was a video game? Well, let's dive a little deeper into that idea and see what would have happened if things in that episode played out a little differently. Before we get to the video, I'd like to remind everyone to like the video and of course subscribe to the channel so that you can become a goon just like us. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. I'm Anthony from DigiGoons, and in this What If episode we're going to be discussing What If Tai Died. The episode I was mentioning before is episode 19, The Prisoner of the Pyramid, from the original Digimon Adventure series. In this episode, Izzy tells the whole group that they are all made of data here in the digital world. But Tai does not necessarily understand this. From what Tai was guessing was that they were in a video game and it wouldn't matter if they died. Let's look at the series of events of how my what if would have gone down. In the episode, Tai is very stubborn throughout. He's acting like a total menace in the pyramid. He's acting foolish the whole way through. This is even after he's been told that he was made of data, so you can see it's getting to his head. He even kicks a Gazumon in the butt while walking through the pyramid, and even just walks through a weak point in a wall without letting Izzy double check. My what if would come in the second time they're back at said wall. This is after Datamon captures Sora. Wanting to get her back, Tai would run at the gate, and instead of Izzy or Joe being able to stop him, he would hit the wrong mark on the wall and sadly, be electrocuted. Joe and Izzy would look on mortified, not knowing what to do, and then this is when Agumon, Tentomon, and Gomamon would burst through the wall whilst fighting Etamon. That's when Agumon will see Tai's body, and something inside him will snap. It'll trigger a Dark Digivolution, turning him into Skullgreymon. Then, as normal in the episode, Matt and Mimi with Garurumon and Togemon will still come down from the ceiling, but instead of fighting off Etamon, they'll notice the chaos Skullgreymon is causing and rescue everyone and escape the building, leaving Sora to be saved after they evacuate. This is when I think after all the tears and crying, Matt would have to step up to the plate and become a leader. Thinking about Tai's courage, he'd instill it in himself. And instead of Greymon digivolving in the next episode, episode 20, I think this is where Garurumon would digivolve instead. But instead of friendship, Matt would have to use courage to get through this obstacle. Matt knows he has to step up and not only save Sora, but he also has to have the courage that Tai had, so that he can save Agumon as well. This will of course be the friendship aspect of Matt's character shining through. He knows that the friendship and the bonds they hold is sacred and powerful. He knows he has to rescue them or else he knows the group will be shattered. He knows that he has to be the leader in this time of crisis, and Gabumon wants to step up as well. This will help Gabumon digivolve to where Garurumon, and from there they will rescue Sora as the pyramid collapses. They'll run into Skullgreymon at the very end. Matt will use his bonds of friendship and now the courage he was bestowed with from Tai's passing to talk down Skullgreymon until he turns back into Agumon. Now using Garurumon's powers, he will stop the now rampaging Etamon, who is in his chaos mode after being absorbed into the black pit beneath the pyramid. Sadly, Tai's body would also disappear into the black pit, absorbing him and Etamon together. From here, Matt would take care of both Gabumon and Agumon, giving him the dual partner kind of look you see in a lot of the Digimon games. And from here it could even open up a different aspect of Tai coming back as perhaps a Dark Master. In the end, it is a very messed up concept, but I think it feels realistic, at least in my mind it does. Persevering through the hardships of loss is a topic that isn't lost in Digimon. We see it later in the season with Leomon, and even somewhat with Angemon, as he turns back into an egg after fighting Devimon. Overall, I'd say death is a catalyst for not just hopelessness and darkness, but it can even be looked at as something that can inspire others through their hardships and troubles, while overcoming a loss together.